Viva La Dungeon!
Hello, Dungeon fans. It's Tuesday night. This is Viva La Dungeon. Welcome. Welcome to the dungeon. I'm Kevin from Level 9. Tonight, we are talking about Blades in the Dark, and hopefully we're going to be doing a little playthrough, or maybe finishing up a playthrough of in the Dungeon Crawl Classics Emerald Enchanter. So, first up, though, we're going to talk about this little thing. I didn't realize until much older, as I got much older, how much of a fetish I have for well-designed and well-crafted and well-put-together role-playing systems. But this one certainly introduced me or woke up that fetish, I'll tell you that. This is by far, I've only got a chance to play this once as a one-shot, just as a player, but it is my top game that I want to, one day, it's on a bucket list of playing a full campaign with some serious-ass people who want to play it. This game's just fantastic. Fantastically intriguing, let's put it that way. You play a group of daring scoundrels building a criminal enterprise on the haunted streets of a city named Duskfall. Now, if you've played, hey, Collecting Bricks, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. If you're familiar with Dishonored, the video game Dishonored, or Thief, any of the Thieves, this city's kind of like those. So you can put that in your imagination first. But it's different. It's got its own thing going on. So the city of Duskfall as a setting. This is a setting. So you're going to build a criminal enterprise in this setting. It's a cold, foggy city, kind of Victorian era. There are trains and steamboats, simple electricity, and there's smog everywhere. Black, thick chimney smoke everywhere, okay? And there's no light. This is a fantasy setting as well. There's no light because 1,000 years ago, a cataclysm shattered the sun. And literally there's pieces of the sun up there burning like a quarter as bright as they used to. Just hang on, every now and then you see them, and at certain times of the day. But most of the time, you're in perpetual twilight or darkness. And that same cataclysm also, providing quite a lot of fun with earthquakes and shit like that. Floods. It drowned lots of people. Thousands of people died. Only a few cities survived because it also broke open the gates of death. And in order to save themselves 1,000 years ago, some pact was made with this being to protect everybody from the vengeful spirits and twisted horrors of the Deathlands outside of the city. There are several of these cities. Duskfall, there's a couple others that you could play in if you wanted to, but Duskfall is the one that's most well realized in this book. The city is surrounded, encircled. Precious Paul! Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming. The city is encircled by these crackling lightning towers that keep out all the spirits. Well, for the most part, that shit still gets in the city because you end up having to deal with it at some points. But it keeps out the worst stuff. And one of the coolest things is to power this lightning towers that protect the city. These boats go out into the inky void sea. This is kind of like a port city. Into inky void sea beyond the gates. And mine these Leviathan demonic creatures that swim in the seas now for their ectoplasmic blood to come back and fuel the lightning and the base electricity and shit like that. So instead of whale oil, it's this demon Leviathan blood. In fact, the book has this one line that's just a fucking perfect way to explain the setting. You're in a haunted Victorian-era city trapped inside a wall of lightning powered by demon blood. Now that's the setting. And the setting is intended to create this pressure cooker environment where you start out as a gang with no reputation, with other factions and other well-known and established criminal empires all around you, trying to start your own criminal empire in this setting where you're all trapped inside this city. If shit goes bad, you can't leave the city and chill out. It's like everything's happening right in here. So I'm so interested in seeing how that plays out after like a long time as you play the game. And I'll get into it a little bit later, but the city is really well realized, and it's all inside the book here. So that said, that's the setting. Now, the goal of the game is to create your crew. Everybody has got classes, just like any other role-playing game. You got classes. You roll up a character. Well, roll up. You create a character. Then you work together to create the crew. And then everything kind of revolves around things you do with your characters and things you do with the crew. And I'll get to that in a second. But I want to talk about first. I'll talk about some of the things who you can be in this city. And you hit up the question thing anytime you want to ask me something. So, types of people you can be in this game. You can be types of criminals, all right? Well, I won't say types of criminals. These are types of people you can be. A cutter. And then the cutters are basically your dangerous, intimidating fighter. One thing about this game, which you've seen, if you've been watching my episodes, you've seen it in the Apocalypse World games, is that this game especially treats XP in a kind of really cool way. Balfrin with a party of 5. Welcome, buddy. Hello, everybody. Hola. Viva La Dungeon. Welcome. Raid. I'm talking about Blades in the Dark. I am seducing all of you into wanting to desperately run out and play and grab this and play it. To catch you up, you play if you're not familiar, some of you might be, you play a group of daring scoundrels building a criminal enterprise in a fucked up industrial fantasy city called Dustfall. You play classes such as the Cutter, a dangerous, intimidating fighter. Now, I'm not going to go through all the different. What I'm not going to do tonight is go through too much of the mechanics of the game. It's very interesting. It's different. It's different without being overly complex or foreign, but it's different enough to be really interesting. It ends up being a roll of 6-sided dice. It shares a lot. The system shares a lot of kind of the same aspects as Apocalypse World games, where you have an outcome that's awesome, an outcome that's kind of awesome, and then you have an outcome that's just not awesome, and it plays within those ranges. But what I do want to talk about for each of these classes is the cool way they treat getting XP. When you play a cutter, for example, the fighters, you earn XP when you address a challenge with violence or coercion. Coercion. Hey, Awesome Age. Next criminal. But I'll get it to you. I'll say what I was going to say next. There's the Hound, a deadly sharpshooter and tracker. This is kind of like your ranger. When you play a Hound, you earn XP when you address a challenge with tracking or violence. What I love about this system for doing experience points is how it just gently pushes you into playing your character in the best way. It's the way it's meant to be played. Just instead of just getting general XP for just doing things out in the world, you still get XP in other ways, but a primary way you get it is whenever you do these things, when you play your character the way they're meant to be played. I think that's really cool. All right, keep moving, collecting bricks. Let's see there's the Leech, a saboteur and technician. Just to give you kind of, when you play a Leech, you earn XP when you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. So they're like the Tinkerers. They're also the healers. They bandage things, build bombs, that kind of thing, depending on how you want to play them. Then there is the Lurk, a stealthy infiltrator and burglar. When you play a Lurk, you earn XP when you address a challenge with stealth or evasion. There's the Slide, which I thought was a kind of interesting name for this kind of character, a subtle manipulator and spy. When you play them, you address a challenge. You get XP when you address a challenge with deception or influence. And then, Spider, a devious mastermind. This is for all calculation or conspiracy, is how you get your XP. Viva La Dungeon, Dragons in the Dining Room, thank you. You collecting bricks is a Leech. Let's look at Leech real quick. Just get a better feel for. Where's the Leech? The Leech way back here. You can make poisons. You can heal people. You can analyze things. You can make things. Build artificer. You can build things. It's kind of all well-rounded, kind of cool tinker kind of ability. I like that thought because it rounds you out better than just like a standard, like a tinker that I'm used to, where you just build shit, or you're a thief with who's an assassin who makes poisons. No, you can really kind of find your own way. Spider, and then is there another one? Whisper. I think I like the Whisper. An arcane adept and channeler. So the gates of death broke open, and the city is surrounded by vengeful spirits and all this shit, just all this worked up, but it seeps through into the city anyway. And you can access it or deal with it. And there are vampires, there are ghosts, there's shit that comes up, and you can also play a person who kind of channels it, like a mage or something. When you play a Whisper, you get XP when you address a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. Hey, Turk. All right. So that's to give you a taste of the different types of people you can play. Okay, but here's the thing: you're in this game. This is what kind of separates this from other games. You pick your character and stuff, but then you have the crew, and the crew itself, like the whole goal of this game is to build a legacy. You're building a crew, an operation that's going to live longer than your characters. You're in it to win it. You're in it to build something that goes on. That means the crew itself becomes almost another player. You get a sheet that is just for the crew itself, that represents all the different things, and you level that up, and you do all things for that crew. So you're all working together to create this criminal business. And so the idea of sitting down and fucking creating this with people is so sexy. Like, what kind of crew do we want to make? Do we want to be assassins, killers for hire? They execute accidents, disappearances, murder, and ransoms. Or do we want to be bravos? That's merc and thugs. They execute battles, extortion, sabotage, and smash and grabs. Hey, Gang Rez. I'm gonna call you by your old school name, Baby Dumps. If you don't need a baby dump, got one on back. I like this one. You can make your crew a cult, which would be so fucking sweet to explore that whole thing, right? Acolytes of a forgotten god. They execute artifact acquisitions, auguries, consecration, and sacrifices. Or hawkers. Those are the vice dealers, the pimps and the drug dealers. Product procurement, covert sales, shows of force, and social events. Or do we want to play shadows, thieves and spies? They burglaries and espionage and robberies and sabotage, which should be fucking cool. And then smugglers, which it's contraband transporters. They, clandestine deliveries, territory control, and expeditions. So that's your first step. First step is we all go, okay, here's our characters, here's who we are. What kind of business do we want to start up doing? Do we like killing a lot? Do we like the idea of do we already sell shit and we want to sell drugs or steal jewelry and sell jewelry? And then once we figured that out, we pick our layer, right? You always got to have the beginning of the layer, or you got to start with a layer. And they give you options. You can pick your own, but it's options like a junked rail car, or a small abandoned house at the end of a dark lane, or the unassuming back rooms of a merchant shop. And it's important to establish a layer, because your layer is going to grow later on. You're going to get better layers, and your layer might be attacked by competing factions and things like that. So layer's a big deal. And you also, as part of that, you pick your where is that? Your reputation. Where's our reputation at? You start out with like your initial. Oh yeah. So, and you also pick a word that describes your reputation, and that kind of flavors everything going forward. And your choices are ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, or strange. So you go, okay, we are a group of assassins who are strange, and we live in a half-sunken grotto in the city's maze-like underground canals. And then what are our hunting grounds? Then, yeah, right on. Dick and a stick. Then we establish our hunting grounds. Where our hunting grounds aren't necessarily the same place as our lair, right? And typically, right in the beginning, it even says your hunting grounds are going to be in the middle of somebody else's territory. So right away, you have to make a decision as a group how you want to deal with that. You got three options. You can pay them off and give them one coin. all the money's kind of set up as a kind of just like a coin kind of structure. And I won't get into it, but it's simplified. But you give them 1 coin in exchange for giving you room to work, or 2, you can pay them 2 coin as a show of respect and gain +1 status with them, or you can say fuck that, keep your money, and you get -1 status with that faction. -1 +1, that means dice. You can add in whatever dice whenever you deal with them. So right off the bat, you're carving out territory and figuring out how you're going to deal with the people that are there, and then start your business. And I'll get into it in a minute, but the Dustfall is pretty well realized. Every crew gets a special ability. Let's see what a couple of special abilities are, and then you can upgrade them, of course. So assassins can like a special ability is, let's pick one. Deadly. Each PC gains extra. Gets extra. I want to explain this in a simple way. May add +1 action rating to hunt, prowl, and skirmish, which means these are skills. Here we go. These are skills that it makes him even better. You're deadly, so you're even better at hunting, prowling, and skirmishing. Or Crow's Veil. Due to hard-won experience or occult ritual, your activities are hidden from notice of the Death Seeker crows. I don't even know what that means, and that sounds great, though. Oh, you don't take extra heat when killing is involved on a score. Oh, okay. Okay. Talks about reducing heat. I'll get to that in a second. So, and then as you take over territory, there's a simplified way of looking at the territory. There's a city and it's all blown out, but then there's a simple way to kind of represent your claims to different things. And usually you have to start out something adjacent. You can try to take things that are farther out, but once you take something, you get bonuses for having that type of turf. This is basically you expanding your enterprise out into other parts of the city. Once you got your crew, you pick out. There's a couple other things you can do where you pick like informants that you guys already know, people that you kind of rely on for information and shit like that. And once you got all that figured out, then it's time to go to work. And the game is slightly different than your typical role-playing games. There's basically, in a nutshell, there's 3 different parts to it, how you play. There's the first part, which is free play, and that's where we sit down and we go, okay, what do we want to do? Well, who do we know, and what do we want to do? And then start planning for what we want to do. Then that's called free play. That's basically us planning our score, going out and getting the information we need, and there might be roles involved. There's things going on. There's actions. There's consequences for all this. Got to go talk to this barkeep because we heard that he might know something about the X and Y. We go talk to them, and then the second part is the score itself, and that's a whole other little. That's when we've decided this is the job we're going to do. We found out that there is, we're assassins, and we've got. It'd be fun is to use this to build up Brotherhood of the Hand. It is Brotherhood of the Hand, right? Yeah, the Brotherhood. From the beginning, and you just got a contract. You got a contract for a score, and we got to kill this guy, and we want to make it look. Actually, let me go into that because the score part is pretty damn cool. Where's my? I got rid of my. Here's the crew. Planning and engagement. The score. Oh, you know what I want to talk about? The assassins. I like, there's different types of jobs, and they're outlined by your favored operation type for assassins. Accident, a killing with no telltale signs of murder. A disappearance. Murder, obvious, just murder sends a message. Or ransom, a kidnapping and demand for payment for their return. So these are the types of jobs you'll end up getting. And that we'll need to figure out a way to do that, and that's during your free play where you plan everything out. You go, what? We need this one bit of information in order to kill this guy. We need to know where he goes in the morning or where he has breakfast in order to do that because we want to kill him. The contract said they want him killed out front of his favorite place or something. We do that planning, and then we go into the score part. The score is basically like that whole part of the game is like we drop you right into the beginning of you doing the job. Like, and it isn't like we talk about we're doing it, we do the plan, and then I'm like, okay, then you walk across the street and you go in there and you see this. No, it's like you get dropped right into the action of what's going on. You do what's called an engagement roll, and the engagement roll is affected by how well you did with planning. And the engagement tells you if the score portion of it starts out with like some risk involved, or you're in a bad situation, or you're in a really good situation. And once that roll kind of is figured out, then we start right there. Like the guy he's come walking out, and it's so and so's turn to do their part of the job or whatever it is. And then then you're role playing and doing the rolling and stuff. Once you're done with the score, and once whatever happens, then you go into downtime. Well, the downtime kind of part of the game. But first, before you get your downtime, you got to figure out what the consequences of the job were. Like, what did you get paid? The GM decides, like, is there heat? Did you cause enough trouble? Like, now there's heat from the police or authorities or other factions, especially. And what does that mean? And then once all that's kind of figured out, then what's cool is there's a downtime baked into this, where a functionality where you, in order to relieve stress, you to go out and do things in your downtime with your coin, and you roll on it and you figure that shit out. Like, you gonna go buy something, or are you gonna do your vice? Vice is a way to get rid of your stress. Stress leads to trauma. More trauma means your character's gonna die. So your vice, and you figure that out when you put together your character, but your vice could be anything from drugs to sex and whatever you can think of. To worshiping some weird god or something, maybe you're religious, but but as you use the vice, of course, there's downsides to that as well. So what's cool is, and a guy, somebody else in this book, not the author, but another guy wrote a page kind of talking about the game system itself, said it really well. There's this awesome cycle apparently between playing the bigger game where you're the crew and you're figuring out your place in the world, and you're going, okay, here's this factions and what's going on over here, and what are we doing here. Then you zoom in to these jobs, and during the job and the score, you things happen. And things happen that when you come back out, everything's changed a little bit. Like, maybe you fucking pissed off another faction while you're doing that job, or something else happened, and you come out and now shit's changed out here, and you deal with this stuff, and everything that comes along with that. So it creates this kind of awesome cycle where your actions, the player's actions, really matter, because when you go into your score, it's going to affect whatever happens out here, and when you go out here, and whatever you do out here is going to affect the scores too. So you got this kind of back and forth kind of thing, and it doesn't. And what I get the feeling is it doesn't feel like the same game all the time. Like, you're jumping, you're talking, you're planning, you're doing it, and then you're going in and dealing with it on the ground, and you're getting to use your skills and shit. And that sounds super fucking intriguing to me. And some other odd little cool things is you can, if you die, you can come back as a ghost, and you actually have actions and things you can do, and then you can work to become they call them a hull, like basically a spirit animating a spark craft frame. Okay, so that'd be like your spirit. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Now I just realized what that means. All right, so I was thinking originally a hull was like you would take on somebody's body, but this means it's a fucking, you would inhabit a robot of some sort, which is fucking really fucking cool. Or you can come back, become a vampire. And imagine a group of vampire assassins, or just a vampire in a group of assassins, which does sound like the Hand. So there's that part. And then, like, ultimately, you're playing this game in this city. You want to make sure that the city is pretty, and you can come up with you can come up with your own setting, of course. And there are people who already started to, already made like a fantasy version of this, and other, riffs. But this city, Dustfall, is pretty well figured out. There's all these different places, neighborhoods, Brightstone, Char Hollow, notable people listed, traits listed, Coleridge. A good quarter of the book is dedicated to explaining the setting itself, to give you like a lot to work with, and all the factions that you're competing with. The Church of Ecstasy, hooray, the Circle of Flame, the crows, the city council, the reconciled. It's pretty badass. There's lots of NPCs already figured out too, all within this super sexy fucking little hardcover book here. The design is sexy. Everything, like I said in the very beginning of this show, I said this is one of the games that made me realize how much of a fetish I have when it comes to tightly designed, well laid out, well designed role playing games. It's fucking hot. I backed this on Kickstarter and I'm so glad I did, but you can pick it up anywhere. Well, not anywhere. You can anywhere where you can go buy role playing games usually. It's like my top. I was saying this is my. I haven't only been able to play it once as a one shot. It's my top game that it's a bucket list game. This is a fucking bucket list to play this with a group of people who are interested in, who buy in to the idea of doing this, of building a criminal empire and take it seriously. Not serious as far as like not having fun, but serious as in like, yeah, we're building a fucking criminal enterprise. That's something I want to fucking have happen at some point. This is by John Harper, who you may have heard of a game called Lasers and Feelings. He wrote that one. He's wrote a bunch, and if you're into small role playing games, you'll probably have come across his games. It's very cool. He designed the book too. He did design the layout, which is really the layout, and did the writing and the layout and all that shit, and it's very intimidating. Very, very cool. All right, that is Blades in the Dark. Do we have every fucking time, man? Every fucking time I forget to put music on. Every time. I got a little note on my fucking monitor. Start music. I got a fucking music box right here. Never, never, never. Aegon? Do I know Aegon? I don't know if I know Aegon. Hi, Eric. Nice to meet you, buddy. Do you guys, thank you, Turk. You're really good about that, actually. Hey, anybody got any questions? Anything we want to talk about before we move to the next part of the segment, or next segment of the show? And I'm not going to start music now because we're about to, well, I guess I could just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, yeah, one day. I want to build a crew. You want to be part of the crew? I think it'd be a really fucking cool system to do, to stream. I think it'd be really, really cool to stream. Especially having people get in at the beginning. I think there's a lot of room for cool innovation for chat room interaction. Yeah, you have to have a hook for a hand. I don't know how would you play without one? I don't get it. But you got one stipulation. You can play with a hook for a hand, but you also have to have a hook for a dick. Hook dick. I got your stipulation. All right, we're moving on to Star Jumpers. Star Jumpers. Where am I at? Where am I at? Yeah, where am I at? So, good news. I have the second mission of Star Jumpers is now available for subscribers at the moment. Subscribers to check out on Google Docs. It's in the. I'm excited because it's a nice little step towards. I'm going to have another adventure up in a couple weeks, probably another mission. But that one is up. Last week I talked about the damage system and the equipment system, and this time I wanted to talk just a little bit about how I envision the game to go to market. And the reason I say that, and I'm so far ahead in talking about how it goes to market, is because I imagined this right from the beginning. It was something I saw as an opportunity in the market, and I thought this would be a really good way to do this. And I've so far bought into it that I'm like, this is integral to the whole piece. The Tickerists. We do not negotiate with Turkerists. So I lost my dick to a dick and a stick, so got a hook. Ooh, fucking space hands. Fuck yeah, dude, space hands. Star Jumpers. Right. So how you and your family is going to get Star Jumpers. Traditional role-playing game systems come as a book. Here's this awesome book. There might be a sample adventure in here. I don't think there is one. But this is you. Here you go. Here's the tool. Go make yourself adventures. Have fun. And we're out. We might publish some adventures for this, supplements later on, as a big, thick, intimidating books. And have fun with those. And thank you very much. Star Jumpers. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with what I'm talking about because you just came on, but thank you for sticking around. The Star Jumpers is a game, role-playing game for children that I've been developing for a couple of years now, and I've been playtesting, and I'm looking for more playtesters. It's a science fiction game. The season 1 of Star Jumpers won't be a book. Season 1 of Star Jumpers, how you would go to the store and buy it, is going to be a box that will include all the rules you need, but it'll also include 10 to 12 missions that will constitute season 1. And the mission, I envision the missions to be in sealed envelopes, and may or may not have stipulations on some of them, like a don't open this one until you've done this one kind of deal. And they will all lead up to some kind of climax. So what I'm saying is the traditional means of publishing a role-playing game is to give you a book and then it's on you to come up with the adventures, or to wait until they make third-party adventures or something. Whereas Star Jumpers is all about giving you everything you need for you and your family to play 10 or plus games right out the box. All right there. Because one of the main tenets of Star Jumpers is to make it easy for role-playing friendly families to jump into the genre and into the whole thing without because I mean parents don't got no time to be buying a role. Not a lot of parents. Some parents do, but not most parents don't have the time to get a role-playing system, then come up with a fucking adventure for their kids and adventurers, right? So boom, I got a box. I got all the adventures set up for me, and I'm going to rock and roll with these adventures. And I want to tell a story. Season 1 is going to be, there's going to be a climax, or maybe, and a cliffhanger, you know? It'll be, the way I've been working it out is it'll be like, if for those of you familiar with X-Files and shit like that, or Supernatural and shit like that, you got a show that's based about something specific over here, over there, and then you have one that's like a meta story. And then a couple specific about, just about one thing, and then you have a meta story, and that's what the way the adventures will be laid out, just like a kind of like a TV show. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to talk about the first mission next week. That's what I'm going to cover. It's called Bark Once for Rescue, and then the one that just went up is called Supernova. Yeah. So that's Star Jumpers. This week my goal is, it's going to be light because I got some other things I got to take care of this week. But I got somebody reached out to me on Reddit, said they want to play test and asked for materials because I offered. So I got to laminate a bunch of shit and send it to them. And that takes a little bit of time. So I'm looking forward to getting that done and maybe moving this number up here a little bit. Yeah, that's Star Jumpers. Okay. And then we got a little bit of news from the Lich. I'll be right back.
Hello monsters, I'm the Lich, and it's time for Dungeon News. Unless you've been living underneath a rock elemental, you know that the 2019 Great Dungeon Scavenger Hunt has officially begun. And I gotta admit, the ghouls on level 7 have put together a really interesting list of things to find. Let's see here. Get a selfie with Barry the Blink Dog? Good luck. Let's see, what else? Make a picture of a lich out of different mushrooms. Nice, yeah. That's gonna be cool. This list is so long, right guys? Yeah. Wait, what the? Bring back something from level 7. No. Get me the ghouls down here now. Listen, monsters, for your safety, do not go to level 7. Are you hearing me? Do not go to level 7. That's the news.
Oh shit. Wow. I'll be honest with you. I checked that list out and I guess I missed that one. The level 7 dude. Yeah, Yeah, shit. Well, we'll have to wait to see what he says more about that next week. But now, Dungeon Crawl Classics. Do we have players tonight? I hope. I hope we have players tonight. Otherwise, I'll do it on my own. Who would like to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics for the next hour? Did Fishy make it yet? If you are willing, pop in the game room on the Discord. If you don't know, hi McTeddy. Hey McTeddy. Why don't you come in my voice channel on my Discord and play some Dungeon Crawl Classics for the next hour? All you gotta do is type dice or roll. Well, you can tell me what you want to do. We are playing the Emerald Enchanter. Maybe finishing it tonight? I don't know. Oh, Turk. Yeah. I'm gonna have to change nights. What the hell is that? Oh my gosh. We got nobody? Do I have to finish this off myself? Oh, that sounded weird. That was a little creepy. We had an Awesome Age. Oh, Awesome Age is on her way. Yeah, we're not safe to have you pass, buddy. You're on the hook now. Well, I've got one. Awesome Age is coming. I know Gangrez wants to do it. I know Gangrez wants to do it. He hasn't done it yet. You know you want to do it. Everybody's doing it. Baby Dunks. What about Precious Paul? You still around, buddy? Oh, that's all right. You know, I got all night. At least it's not the stream isn't bombing on me. Heyo. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Fabulous.
Sweet.
Give me, all right, McTeddy, 5 or 10 minutes. You got it. And see who else we're gonna get. I figured out how I want to do this. I think what would be fun is you guys tell me what you want to do, and then I'm gonna narrate it. You know, a little bit more than I did before. That's, you know what I mean? I should say.
I don't know what you mean because I don't know shit about fuck.
Well, that's right. You don't know shit about fuck. Right. Got it. You will see what I mean. Or hear what I mean, rather.
I'm here for the party.
Where's Fishy? Fishy said he was going to come. Tonight. So last week, what did we do? What happened? Oh, yes. So we got ourselves into, our heroes entered the Emerald Enchanter's fortress, casting a. Let me see. Let me weave this. On last episode, last week, our heroes entered the Emerald Enchanter's fortress, paralyzing his tile monster. That's boring. Well, paralyzing his tile monster, entering, and that was way more fun than what I'm saying. Pulling a critical spell check out of his ass, Kalen paralyzed the tile monster, affording the team enough time to break into the inner sanctum, where they found the Emerald Enchanter's living room and his emerald coffee table,
And he's done fucked up.
which he done walked out of with his flying emerald skulls. Oh yeah, we got those flying around the top at the ceiling. He walked out of that and he walked back in and disappeared. And that's where we left you guys, chilling out.
And then I walked through the thingy.
Oh, you haven't yet.
I thought I did, and the rest were debating.
Well, sure. I mean, we can say that. That's fine. Sounds good.
Oh, what?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine by me.
I smoke a lot of weed.
I was just like.
So I remember things wrong. But... Like to party?
Emerald Enchanter sounds good to me, man. Yeah.
Enchanter,
Yeah, it's green, man. Yeah.
It's that heavy Enchanter, man.
Might be just 3 of us. Where the hell is Fishy? I was hoping he asked me if when baby dumps. I didn't say this before, but I am promising everybody dicks on a stick.
I know.
Aw.
That turned out very, very, very nicely.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Fishy's at the hospital? Aw. Oh, she's still at the hospital? Aw. It was rough then. Okay.
Oh, jeez. Gwen, stop.
Cat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cat that's trying to make an impression as a slipper.
Nice. Oh, we always need you, McTeddy. I don't know what we're gonna do if I don't get another couple people though. I might just have you guys roll a couple dice. We'll figure out a cool situation for you guys to roll a couple dice.
Okay.
We'll finish up against the Emerald Enchanter. Maybe you guys could die. Hey, McTeddy, you feel like role playing a death? Let's see, McTeddy. You're part of the dungeon, aren't you, McTeddy? Hi, McTeddy. Hold on one second. I gotta make you. It's not open to just any old person. There you are. You are a playing monster and an official monster. You should be able to get in the game room now. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi. McTeddy, meet Awesome Age.
What do I need to know?
Who am I?
Who am I? Who do you want to be?
I want to be a thief.
You want to be? We have a thief. He's a little dumb, but he's really, really good at picking locks.
I can be dumb.
Okay.
I'm good. Whatever character I am, I'm happy to play.
All right. So what we're gonna do, if I don't have a whole lot of people, what I'm gonna just do is we're gonna create a scene, and we're gonna put you in that scene. And you guys, if you guys want to die, you can just die by rolling. But I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say by dying is if you guys die, that's okay. This is the end. We're gonna climax the adventure here. I'm gonna get
So it can be glorious.
Yes.
Excellent.
If you so choose. If the roles so choose.
If the roles so choose.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm doing, so all I can do is...
All right. McTeddy, I'm getting you a character sheet really quick. I'm gonna DM it to you. But also join game room text.
Okay.
Click on there.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Yep. And once you're in there, I'm gonna type something out here. Show you. 1d20.
Okay.
Oh, you rolled. Okay, good. All right, you got it.
All right, roll the 1. We're off to a good start.
I typed it wrong. Oh, nice. Well, at least you got it out of the way.
Yeah, you don't know my luck. Barney, I'm sorry.
What is this guy's name? Barney. You are going to be Barney tonight. Here. Oh, that was stupid. Hold on. I'm going to delete that out of there. I'm going to send it to you personally. Why the hell? Okay, there you are. There you are. We haven't chatted in a while, McTeddy.
We have not.
I've been super fucking busy. Lots of personal shit going on.
Michigan like last week. And
what? Where were you in Michigan?
I had to go out to meet a bunch of streaming buddies.
Oh, you seriously?
Wait, don't tell me that's where you are.
Wait, no. In Michigan? Yeah, I'm in fucking Michigan. Yeah, I'm just...
Son of a... Grand Rapids area?
Well, it's west of here. It's a couple hours. I'm in, near Pontiac.
Yeah, that's where I was last week.
No shit.
Yeah, then I took a trip off to Chicago to see another couple of friends of mine, so...
Oh, wow. Yeah, dude,
whoops. I don't know. I thought you were like south, like a couple of states. Apparently not.
No,
I've been finding that out like the last week. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm from Michigan," and I'm like, "Now you freaking tell me."
Right. I gotta refresh this. Yeah, I'm more Detroit area.
Buddy Sheepley is from Detroit area.
Right on. So I DM'd you. No, it's a, yeah, okay. Check that out while I refresh this stuff here. Boom.
Just remember, I don't know the rules.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm not too worried about that, but...
Nope. I'm not either. Okay.
Let's see. Intelligence 5. Oh, god damn, that is dumb.
Yes. You're a little dumb. But it's okay. But it's okay. And
all I'm going to do is be myself.
All right. So this is what's going to happen. This is fucking perfect. Okay, so you are part of a adventuring party who had wandered into this town and that sits down below this mountain this cliff that holds this big citadel. Okay, and the townsfolk were all freaked out because their friends and family were disappearing, and there's this rumor of this emerald enchanter wizard that lives up in the citadel who's been stealing their people. And of course we say yes, we go up there to rescue these people, to take on the emerald enchanter at his home. Last episode, in the episode before, they broke into his citadel, and in one of the first rooms they found, it was like a big living room with this huge 20-foot table made out of emerald. He walked out of this emerald table, sent a couple flying emerald skulls flying around the room, scared the shit out of everybody, and then walked back into his table. Now our elf, yeah, right.
I take out one or two of those, I sell those off, and I'm retiring, man.
Yeah,
Level 3, man.
The emerald skulls, yes. Maybe, if you survive. Absolutely. So, now your elf, who is played by Awesome Age, Illarin the elf, elves in Dungeon Crawl Classics are basically wizards. And she looked at the table and figured, wait a minute, he's obviously using this as a portal, duh. And maybe she thought, maybe I could make it work for us. And she did. She went over the table, she said a few words, and then backed away. It didn't work. And then she said a few more words, and boom, she felt it kind of attuned to her. And she tells the party, no one else wants to fucking go. No one believes her, except for Barney.
I do have to say, I'm intelligent 5. Well, actually,
you're smarter than me. So.
Well, I was gonna say that seems like a really bad idea. Intelligence 5, but maybe that intelligence explains why I went along.
Exactly.
My character's smarter than the player. I just have to admit that, right? It took me a minute to realize where the numbers were associated with what strat or stat. So.
Yeah, it's all right.
I would really feel bad if our mage had worse intelligence than me.
Oh, God.
Right? Yeah, me too. Me too. So Illarin's like, hey, we can follow him, guys, and nobody else wants to go except for Barney. And so the both of you walk into this table. You walk towards the edge of it, and as you get closer, you get a warm and then a warm feeling, and then a pop, and then suddenly you're standing in this kind of hallway of
come on, bud, ain't busting no toes on this table.
Pure marble with emerald kind of encrusted in it. All of a sudden Barney's there next to you, and this hallway leads to an open door. And there's you can't make out exactly what's going on, but it looks like a really large room back there. And you hear thumping and it sounds like maybe chains. There's a lot of activity going in that room back there, and so you can't resist. Maybe you crouch up against the wall, but there's a lot of.
What's that? The sound of coins?
Yes, exactly. You hear ching, 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 and. So you get up. There's a lot of light though, so maybe you get up close to the wall. You sneak down as quietly as you can and peek into the room. And inside the room, I got a little picture in there if you're watching. What did I do with it? Wait.
What
did
I do with it?
Horrifying.
Where did it go? Oh, I moved it. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, hold on. All right, I went and moved it. Silly. Here you are. Boom. Okay. So what you see in 4E, this is the climax of, this is the Emerald Enchanter's workroom / lair. So what this guy's been doing is turning... He's been... I know what to do here.
There's green shit fluttering about. They're dollar bills, yo.
I know what to do here. Yo, baby, make it rain.
It's okay, guys. Have your up for one of these movies. Mom?
Mom. Gangrez, what are you doing once you get in here, buddy? Once you get in here and play,
I thought you were taking us to some evil place. What?
Babe, come play one of the dancing girls. It'll be great.
come play the dwarf or the cleric. Then these guys won't be dying. We'll see what happens.
Dying's fine with me.
So, what you see is pretty crazy. What this guy has been doing is stealing people and turning them in. You've faced a couple of them so far. Have you faced these emerald statues that have come to life and attacked you? And he's actually stealing people and turning them into emerald golems. And
genius.
yes, he's.
I was going to say that. I got a party member here. I can offer up. I take the legs. He takes the head. We're good.
Oh, nice. Plot twist.
Come on, I got a personality 15. I don't need to.
You have double the intelligence of him. I think you should be able to trick him.
I stepped to the side.
I prefer the word smart.
Okay.
You have double the smart as me. I don't like making up words from an ancient day.
Okay, so you, all right. So what you see before you is a room filled with magical machinery. 4 huge vats of boiling green liquid sit in the 4 corners of the room. On the ceiling above each vat is a series of chains and pulleys that trace a course to the center of the room, where each track of chain ends in a steel cage hanging from the ceiling. In the 2 cages are beautiful women who begin screaming, "Help! Help us! Help! Help!" On the far side of the room is a large mass of machinery with a bank of levers on it. A green-robed, green-skinned man sits there. Upon seeing you, he throws a couple levers.
Okay, I just gotta interrupt. I'm gonna yell out to the ladies. Stop yelling, we're sneaking!
That's when he throws the levers. That's when he sees you and throws the levers.
God damn it, was it I told you to wear your quiet shoes?
Simultaneously, from behind him, a swarm of bat-winged emerald skulls lifts up off the ground behind him, while 2 emerald statues come crawling out of the 2 back vats, dripping with green goo, and start climbing out, moving towards you. Let's roll initiative. That's just 1d20.
Six. All right.
6 it is. Okay, Bernie, 6. Oh.
It's off to a good start.
Oh, Age got 19. Did you have any? You got any pluses, Illarin? I don't think you do, actually.
I don't think I do. No.
I got +1. Lucky number 7.
Okay, I need to roll. This is for. Oh, I'm gonna, so that you guys can see it. I'm gonna turn this off real quick, but we're gonna go back to it. And a second. I'm gonna do. This is for the skulls, and they rolled a 20.
Oops.
The skulls rolled a 20, so they're rocking 24.
Stop with this video editing magic bullshit. I know that's a recording.
What's a recording? Oh, yeah. Exactly. 20 and 20 and 20. All right, so the statues got a rockin' 13. And then this is for the bad boy himself. 4.
Okay, while this is going on, I whispered to the
2, 6.
wizard, I don't think they saw us yet.
I just stare blankly.
Don't worry, I'll catch on at about 7 initiative.
Right.
When he does catch on, though, I fart.
All right, bad Janet.
That's how that's gonna happen.
Did you watch The Good Place?
I did not.
Oh, God, you gotta watch The Good Place, dude. That's a bad Janet move right there. The fart. Okay. So who's up first? Emerald Flying Skulls come racing. There's about 4 of them. They came racing across the vats, above the vats, faster than. Oh, let me put this back up. Faster than a speeding bullet. Faster than the cage is moving. The cages are moving. Obviously, they're going to be moving. They're probably going to drop these poor women in the vats, which is probably going to cause more statues and trouble for you. But the bats come.
If you look at this image, they're not actually above the vats.
Not yet.
Okay.
They're moving. They're moving down tracks. When he hit the levers, they started moving.
Okay. I'm following that.
And here come the bats. Now the emerald skull flying things, they seem to only have eyes for you, Miss Elf. They come flapping around and shoot. This is great. They shoot green lasers out of their eyes at you. Pew pew pew. At first you're like, why are they stopping right there, like 20 feet from me? And then they shoot. Don't shoot that thing at me. Here I am, turning this on and off. Here we go. All right, let's see. What's your armor class, Illidan? Illarin? Leather.
Yep.
I hope you like leather.
I hope you like leather.
What's your armor class number? That's in the left, in that little shield-looking area. I think it's 12. Okay. All right, one of them.
We are in trouble.
One of you hits you with his little laser eyes.
Another
one hit you with little laser eyes. Holy shit. Well, we're gonna. I was gonna give you back your spells because remember, that's why I wasn't sure that you had entered the table without the party right in the beginning because you guys were gonna rest. Because remember, Kalis, the cleric, wasn't able to heal. No. You remember that whole thing that happened? So heal Warpoodle's dwarf. I think that's what it was. Or was it Barney? Barney was the hurt one. Anyway, so you guys are healed up, and I'm going to give you your spells back just for this final battle.
Yeah, it was Barney.
Yeah, this is
Oh, thank God.
GM prerogative. Yeah, Barney, and you got all your spells back too, bud.
Wait, that's spells?
Oh, right. No, you don't.
Okay.
That was a joke. That was a little nerd joke. All right.
Okay, good. I'm over here looking at my sheet, and I'm like, gee, I can't find that. Apparently, the intelligence finds me too.
What's your hit points, Illarin?
My hit points are 12.
Oh, okay, cool. So they all 3 hit you, which is not cool. But I don't think
that I have rubbery hair.
Ooh. No, that's more of a. Yeah. So
Well,
you're corrupted. The rubbery hair doesn't help with green lasers, unfortunately.
What if I spoke dragoon?
I yell at them in dragon.
Yeah,
One.
wonderful things at them in dragon.
Oh fuck! All right, so I rolled 7.
And then I die.
Nope, you didn't die. You just took 7 points of damage. Usually you would have a.
Medic!
Yes.
Ow!
Oh, wait, he's on the other side of the table.
Okay, so that was those guys, and now, where'd my little paper? There we go. So they had rolled a 24, and then now it's you, Illarin, to do what you want to do. Things you can do. You have all your spells back. You have notice that little. What's that?
Drop a nuke. I do have magic missile.
Yeah, you do.
Sounds like a really small nuke.
And you could spell burn if you wanted to in order to get a really high roll. The higher you roll with magic missile, the more targets you can hit.
Word. I
Yeah.
do not know.
So what you could do is roll, and then depending on your roll, hopefully you roll kind of decently. You could spin.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Go 1d20, and then I forget what your pull it up. What's your spell? Check. I think it's 2.
Where do
Your spell. It's in the lower right-hand corner. Next time, I'm learning all the time what I want to do with this little format I've got going here. I definitely need to have all your stats like right nearby. Yep, you're +2. Go for it. Roll it. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, now, while I'm let's see. Nice. If you would like, all you need to do is spend one. You could burn one. Oh wow. Holy shit. Wow.
Is this a good holy
Okay.
shit?
Yeah, this is a good holy shit. Okay, so, all right. Our heroes walk in. Well, yeah. Well, your heroes walk in. They see all this shit. The emerald skulls come at them, shooting our elfin hero with their green laser beams. You summon up a magic missile, and now if you want to, you could do something called spell burn. Spell burn means you can take your roll and then you can add to it, and you take away from your base stats to add to that. So if you have like a 10 strength, you could -5 from that strength to add to this die roll. Fictionally, what happens, that's more along the lines of like blood magic from Dragon Age or something, where you say like cut yourself or you sacrifice some part of you to add more to this spell. Over the course of time later, you would regain those attribute points, so it's not like you're going to be 5 strength forever, but you could spend it at that moment. So the first thing I was going to say is you could spend 1 and you'll be able to throw you just roll 1d4 +2 missiles and you could take out the eyes. But if you spend 5, you can throw a single powerful missile that does damage equal to 4d12. So you'd roll 4d12 plus your caster level. And you could maybe take the Enchanter out like right away. It goes up to 1,000 feet. So you could definitely hit this guy.
Sure. Burn all your intelligence. You don't need it.
Oh, well, let's see.
I roll with scissors, yo. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah. Yep.
It's unfortunate, but I reckon.
So fuck it. Let's do it. Let's have fun. Pick an attribute, and let's think of a reason, a way you could spend that shit to if you want to do
personality.
Yeah.
I've got
Right.
all the points in personality. I've got points to spend, yeah.
How many do you have?
15.
Oh wow, yeah, spend 5. I mean, you're gonna be a little less pretty.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm
Like-
fine with that.
Like you get, you can, if anybody is watching you while you're casting it, they can see your face starting to like that. Yeah, you smell a little, and your face gets really tight. Maybe the lines appear, like he's kind of draining some of your shit from your face. Your body maybe withers a little bit, and you shit yourself. And
But you didn't think it wasn't worth it?
I'm okay. I'm happy.
now let's ask you to roll a couple things. One, roll a 1d10 first.
Okay.
This is fun part of. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Oh, fuck yeah. So this is a fun thing about this system is
Everyone shows themselves.
No. So what this is, the spells manifest differently depending on when you cast them and stuff, depending on the vibe in the room. When you cast this fucking magic missile, you're using your life energy to do it. You put out your hands, and this screaming, clawing eagle of energy comes ripping out of your hands, and coming screaming right at the Emerald Enchanter. It's just beeline, goes straight for him, just like that. Now roll your 4d12 and see how.
Roll 4d12. 4,000 damage. We got this.
4,000. We could do this.
4d12.
Yep. $25 plus 2, which is your caster level. This eagle slams in, grabs the Enchanter. You see it all happening. He grabs it by his shoulders and puts its whole beak and head into his head. And you see this happening. At first, you're like, is he passing through him? Because it just happens so fast. Where all of a sudden the eagle's like heads in his, and all of a sudden the Emerald Enchanter's head just goes poof, and then he isn't green on the inside. It's a fucked up Christmas party going on in that end of the room. There's blood and guts and brain and emerald skin all over. The statues freeze and they turn. And they're like, and they look at you, and then they come racing at you anyway. So you still, the women are still, the machinery is still going. These statues are racing at you, and the skulls, however, fall to the ground and are done. They shatter. Hey, everybody.
I fold my arms
Raid.
really confidently.
Fucking raid.
I yell out, "We have enemies!"
Welcome, everybody. We are doing the climax encounter for the Emerald Enchanter. Our two heroes are facing down the Enchanter. Our elf just cast a massive magic missile that came out as a screaming eagle that flew directly and stuck its own head and beak into the Emerald Enchanter's head, exploding it. Now, however, there are two women in cages, and the machinery is still moving to drop them into the vats to make them emerald statues, while two other statues come racing forward to attack them. And in fact, they're going to do that now. They come, one for each of you. They come running.
Okay.
God,
Now, you notice how, yeah, exactly. Hey, Rezahana. Hey, Leviathan. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Hey guys.
Hey, guys. So, let's see. This is going to be for Barney. Let's see what happens with Barney. That's 10 plus... I need my book back, guys. Sorry. What's your armor class there, bud? Oh, never mind. I see it. It's 13. They missed you.
Sure?
Oh, no, they did not miss you.
Looks like an 18.
As they get...
Intelligence 5, I can count. 18.
As these emerald people get closer, you can see they luckily they don't have weapons. They just got bold fists, and you can see the detail. It's almost a little shocking, Barney. You're not the smartest person. As they get closer, you're like kind of transfixed.
But I can see the value, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you're a little transfixed, a little deer in the headlights. So you don't dodge when you're supposed to, and this guy nails you in the face with his fist.
I'm pretty used to that by now. Hard to believe, right?
Yeah. You're gonna take 3 points of damage.
Ow.
And then Illirin, the other one comes swinging at you. This one's a woman. The detail is amazing. She's going to hit you as well for 5.
Bitch, I'm dead. What do you want?
Oh, wait, you are dead, aren't you?
Yep.
What can we do? We really can't do nothing about that. So, Barney, you get hit, and as you come back, you see Illirin go down. You aren't out completely. You aren't dead. You can be revived. We're not going to worry about that just yet. We're going to worry about what Barney's going to do. What are you going to do, Barney?
How far is the exit?
It's right behind you. You could definitely start running. Barney's the only one that's neutral.
Well, I mean, it does seem like the right thing to do, but is the emerald skulls on the outside? How far away are they?
They've fallen. They were deactivated when the enchanter died. They fell.
But they are in the room.
They are in the room.
So
yes.
I'll have to go past the statues to grab one of them to run away with one of them, right?
Yes. Well, you can. Hey, yeah. You know what? We can do a roll for that. We can do a roll for that if you want to see if you can get past the statue, grab one of those, and go. They get kind of an opportunity attack, so it's just does he hit you, basically, if you want to try it.
If you could keep me in the ribs, that would be great.
I was thinking, So I assume that actually reviving will be an action, so I'm not going to be doing that.
Right.
Okay. Well, then what I'm probably going to do
There is a
try
door.
try to take one of these hands off. I've got a short sword here. If I can take a hand, it's going to be like one of those skulls.
Right. Well, yes.
And meanwhile, I'm going to be yelling back at the table. For the love of God, somebody help us! Cleric, stop being a bitch!
Okay. Roll it. Just roll roll 1d20. You're attacking the golem.
Holy crap! I got a number.
Holy shit! That's a 16. You definitely hit. Now I think your short sword's 1d6 plus something.
Yeah.
Barney, his eyes never leaving the emerald skull, shattered pieces of the emerald skull laying on the ground, takes a wild swing at the at the statue, hoping to cut off a piece and run. So it's 3. All right, so
Real small piece.
you're every dick on a stick for everybody. You chip off a piece. You get really excited because as you hit the statue, a little piece falls off the statue, but obviously it doesn't stop the statue. However, you hear a sound from behind you, and in comes the roar of your friend the dwarf. What the fuck is the dwarf's name? Fuck. Your friend the dwarf. Well, I forget what his name is. That's terrible. But he's not playing, so now I don't know. Throm comes running up behind you. Kaelin, the cleric, comes in, and before you know it, they've made short work of the two statues, but not before the women drop into the vats. And your friends turn, and while Kaelin is tending to Illirin, he gets down and he revives her, so she's not dead. Throm's looking around going, what happened here? And suddenly the two women start crawling out of the vat as the emerald statues. We got to get out of here. And all of you take off back to find your way out of the fortress.
Wait, I think I love her.
Not too much of a hurry. I need that emerald.
You grab, Barney grabs a handful of emeralds as on the way out of one of the, you grab one of the skulls, a big piece of it. It's probably going to be worth quite a bit, actually. I'll figure that out next time. Barney will be wearing something really svelte.
Oh yeah, getting just one massive necklace.
Yes.
I can kind of like swipe one out with my lip bar. So yeah, I just swallow.
Yeah, so Illirin saved the day by blasting the head off the Emerald Enchanter. That's pretty amazing. That was awesome roll. And
what about Barney being super useful?
Barney super yes. You were morale support. Kind of.
He's like the proof that it happened. Like pictures it didn't happen. I get Barney it didn't happen. You know?
To be fair, do you think anybody's going to believe what I have to say?
No one's going to believe it. Either of us.
No.
We're kind of screwed on this whole thing. Yeah. At least we
did have those 4 witnesses, but they all fell into a vat.
I really miss Tiffany.
So next week will be a brand new second level Dungeon Crawl Classics adventure. Anybody's welcome to play. Any of you watching, it's first come, first served. You can just jump in the Discord, do exactly what we're doing right here. Just have some fun. It won't last more than 45 minutes to an hour. To be fair. Yeah, more the merry. We just have fun. Next week will be I think next week's adventure is going to be more of a role-playing thing, so you can, awesome, if you join us, you can have, and I think, McTeddy, I think you would be awesome in that kind of thing, too. Less fighty, more roly play.
Cool, I can do that.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to roll, I'm good.
Yeah, well, okay, well, no, that's not true, though. I mean, rolling, that's what makes it fun, especially if you fail. So that
What do you mean? When? Every time I roll.
Yeah, right.
Every single time.
Well, you have to come then to. I gotta depend on your failing rolls then. You're not gonna roll as you did not roll as bad as other people have. Other people have rolled really bad. We had someone trying to heal somebody last episode and rolled 4 times and couldn't roll above a 5. That was bad.
It was bad.
Don't worry, there's always next time.
So those will be every Tuesday night, and the Dungeon Crawl Classics portion of it starts around 7:30 or 10:30 Eastern Time. Last up is just to talk about what's going on in the Stream Team. This coming Sunday is Drunks and Dragons Session 0 for the new season. That's going to be exciting. Make sure you come, especially if you're part of the Dungeon faction, because usually a lot of decisions made, like new cards and shit like that, and we want to make sure they're as funny and monstrous as possible. So come and help the boys craft their next season. And then, let's see, where the hell are my... Oh, here we go. Dragons in the Dining Room, Wednesday. They're playing Curse of Strahd. Apparently, one of their characters, Orihana, is battling Strahd while the rest of the group is unaware. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're like playing cards or something. One of their friends is battling Strahd himself, and they don't know about it. So that sounds like interesting. Saturday is their Dragons in the Dining Room Adventures of Loromere. The party rests from an intense fight. They spend some of that time reminiscing about their childhoods. That's fucking cool. And then Sunday is, I think that's before Drunks and Dragons, for Dragons in the Dining Room. They're playing Dungeon of the Mad Mage. The party delves deeper after defeating a trio of Manticore. Like, one isn't... 3 Manticore? Like, one isn't enough? They're unaware of the dangers that await them. Oh, shit, yeah, dude. What's worse than 3 Manticore? That's pretty badass. In a dungeon, too? Was it, like, in a room? You got a 10 by 10 room, and there's 3 Manticore. Have fun. So that's what's going on in the Drunken Adventures stream team. I'm sure there's stuff going on 2KB, too, this week. And then what we're going to do now is raid... Wait, Willie? Turkey? You guys are doing your thing, right? Are you guys streaming? Oh, hey, Rains for... Oh, cool. Everstorm's coming back on 2KB Saturday. Awesome. And I believe that's the beginning of a new story, right? Like, or not new story, but that's the beginning of a new campaign type deal. Right, Jeff? Because you guys ended something before. That's 10 p.m. Central Time. Cool. Transitioning to a new arc. Awesome. Kick ass. That's a really cool game if everybody wants to check it out. Well, Everstorm's D&D, but it's a cool story and original setting. Okay. Turk, are you guys streaming? Turk and Tyler make music, and we usually raid them now. Teddy, we need to talk about if there's any synergy where I could raid you sometimes, or vice versa. Usually I'm really late, though. This is my earliest night.
I missed whatever. All I heard was synergy where we can. And then...
We should find some synergy where I can raid you.
Oh, yeah. It's a safe wager. I'll be done before you.
Yeah, I know.
Appreciate the thought.
Where's my little dashboard? All right, we're gonna raid the Grouch Couch Boys.
Woo!
Ooh.
If we raid stuff, can I steal something?
Yes. If you come back to play Barney next week, McTeddy, we'll get you something real nice with the money you got for the emerald.
Ooh, shinies.
Right now you're like, I cannot promise that. All right, we're going on over. Going on over. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Of course I'm not there. I hate that.
I've done that way too often.
Well, I hate that it doesn't send you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta be like on it. I gotta like, okay, do this, and now you guys raid, and they're like, oh, hey, thanks, let you know for raid. And I'm like, I'm not even there. I don't get all the props.
They've got 5 minutes before they start. So I don't know.
Oh, they're not even started yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Get my props.
Oh, word. Well.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
No, if